Hey everyone, today on People Now.
Katy Perry drops a new track and music video reminding us all to stay strong.
Jamie Lynn Spears opens up about her daughter's 2017 near-death ATV accident in a new interview.
Snoop Dogg and Idina Menzel with a song swap to make you smile.
These houses are extreme, they're extravagant, they're over the top.
Bachelor star Tyler Cameron is building some fancy dog houses in his brand new show.
Actor Alex Wolff tells us all about his new movie, and will there be a Naked Brothers Band reboot?
We'll find out that and more all today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to People Now. I'm Andrea Boehlke here in Wisconsin. Jeremy, what's going on?
Woo! Friday feels real good right now. 84 in New York today. I'm just so happy that it's feeling like almost summer. That vibe is, in spite of everything we're going through. Let me just tell you this. Our new obsession for binge watching is Songland. Are you watching this?
I've seen an episode of it. It's really interesting, yeah.
We kind of dabbled and then went away and we come back. I'm obsessed with this show now. Last night it was Julia Michaels that we watched. I think it was an old episode. But anyway, the whole premise of the show is songwriters pitch their songs to artists. And it's just really good. And it makes me feel good. I want everyone to do it. And the good thing is you can listen to the music right after. So I've just got like my soundtrack for the weekend ready to go.
I mean, you can watch that show also. I've been really into Bachelor, Listen to Your Heart. I've been watching this whole season. Final 3 contestants. It's our family show now.
We've been into that too. It's like the music stuff is really the theme. So, and that's also, it turns out, kind of the theme for today, right here on People Now. There's a lot to get to. Here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. Katy Perry has a brand new song that is here to remind everyone to stay strong during these trying times. Listen to this.
They said I'm going nowhere, trying to get me out. The singer dropped the empowering song on Thursday and on Friday released a special music video to accompany the track. In the video, the pregnant singer celebrates her resilient spirit by wandering the outdoors in a field of flowers. According to a press release, the video was shot and produced with social distancing in mind.
The colorful video, reminiscent of Polaroid photos with its grainy overlay, shows off Perry's growing baby bump as she strips down to her bare body while standing in a flowing stream, as you do. She's expecting her first child, a daughter, with fiancé Orlando Bloom later this summer.
On Friday, Perry spoke to Zane Lowe on Apple Music's New Music Daily about the single. She explains that she wrote the song as another anthem for herself. She says she wrote some of it while she was clinically depressed and trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel.
And the song did just that. She says Daisies helped her realize, quote, "Look, I don't need to change. I will stay true to my past." And while the song helped her find her own light, it has now taken on a new meaning in quarantine times. She says, maybe we took a lot of things for granted and didn't have the gratitude about certain simple things. And hopefully, when we all get out of this, we will appreciate and be grateful for our freedom.
The American Idol host admits she was unsure of when to release her album, but has decided this summer would be a great way to boost people's spirits. Her 5th studio album is set to release on August 14th.
To hear Perry perform Daisies for the first time live, you can tune into Amazon Music's live performance series in support of the Music Cares COVID-19 Relief Fund. That's at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Friday. She's also set to perform Daisies on the American Idol season finale. That's happening this Sunday.
Jamie Lynn Spears is opening up about her daughter Maddie's near-death experience when she drove an ATV into water back in 2017.
Yeah, Spears shared the terrifying details about that ATV accident during an episode of Better Together with Maria Menounos. She got emotional as she recalled how things were, quote, not looking good when Maddie was admitted to the hospital. Take a listen.
The doctors had, like I said, had not been getting a response from her. So any pain, none of those things. And she's got something breathing for her. It's all of the worst case scenarios. He went to, put the oil on her and read the rites, and she sat up and started kicking and her hands and started grabbing at all of the things. And they came and they tied her down, and then she went back into complete, whatever. But then that was our first sign that she was there.
Spears went on to tell Menounos that after her daughter's recovery, she's been given the biggest blessing you can be given. She explained, quote, "I'm not allowed to waste a day on this earth complaining or being ungrateful."
Spears, now a mother of 2, commemorated the, quote, miracle anniversary back in February on Instagram. She posted this picture and captioned it in part, quote, 3 years ago today, Super Bowl Sunday fell on February 5th, and I'll never forget that because it was the day my whole world stopped. It started like most Sundays, going to church, visiting family, to suddenly trying to save my daughter's life. to them taking her away, to us believing we had lost her forever. Maddie not only stayed here with us, but she made a full recovery. I'm filled with gratitude today and every day, even on the bad days. It's wild to kind of hear her recount that and imagine the events of that day unfolding.
Yeah, you can watch more of the full episode of Better Together with Maria Menounos on Maria's YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. The show is also available on iTunes.
Southern Charm star Kathryn Dennis has an unlikely defender in her corner, longtime rival Ashley Jacobs. Ashley went after her former co-stars Cameron Eubanks, Naomi Olindo, and Chelsea Meisner on social media Thursday after they blamed Kathryn for claims that Cameron's husband had been having an affair with a local makeup artist named Rebecca Wash.
A source tells People Kathryn first brought the claims up months ago. Ashley Jacobs' Instagram is private, but wrote on her stories in part, the only reason you defended her while cameras were filming was because you lacked the integrity to be honest and real in front of the cameras for fear of unpopular opinion.
Rebecca Wash broke her silence about the claims, denying she had any illicit relationship. In a lengthy Instagram post, the makeup artist says in part, quote, I've been wrongfully accused of having a relationship with the husband of Cameron Eubanks of Southern Charm. She adds that she only met Kathryn Dennis once in 2018 and calls these allegations hurtful and malicious.
This all comes as Cameron, Naomi, and Chelsea announced their departure from the show. An insider tells us that Naomi and Chelsea told production they weren't returning to the show months ago. Naomi and Chelsea, like Cam, are just tired of the reality TV drama. A second source tells People Naomi's current relationship with her boyfriend was also a factor for her exit and tells us she's seen what reality television can do to relationships and isn't interested in exposing herself again to that kind of scrutiny.
Southern Charm star Landon Clements praised Cameron, Naomi, and Chelsea for walking away from it all to find their true happiness. In an Instagram post on Thursday, Landon shared a series of photos of herself and her co-stars from her time on the show. In that lengthy caption, Landon says in part, I'm so sad to see the events of the last few days, but it's true what they say, one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. Landon adds, quote, we enjoyed making this show for y'all and love our little town so much.
John Legend can't wait for his little boy Miles to turn 2. While his birthday isn't until Saturday, May 16th, Legend posted a photo of his toddler son on Instagram and captioned it, he's almost 2. And he's looking more and more like John every day.
He really is. And Chrissy Teigen shared a similar photo of her son, captioned in part, how does he look so grown, officially a toddler?
Now, the family has been celebrating all week. They even welcomed a bearded dragon into the crew. Teigen posted pictures of the newest edition on Twitter, revealing that as of right now, the little critter does not have a name. She explains the birthday boy will get to name him on his big day.
My little girl says they should name him Spike. So,
ooh, yeah.
Consideration. Teigen even shared an adorable video to her Instagram stories showcasing young Miles inspecting the lizard on the couch. I don't know, a bearded dragon as a pet, that's pretty cool, I think.
Would you get one, Jeremy?
Well, I had an iguana when I was a kid. I feel like it's super cool. I would not want to get one right now because I would end up having to take care of it, but it's cool.
True. All right, well, Miles isn't the only celebrity kid celebrating a birthday this week. Gwyneth Paltrow and her ex-husband Chris Martin's daughter Apple celebrated her 16th birthday on Thursday. Paltrow honored her mini-me with a beautiful tribute on social media. She captioned her post in part, you are the light of my heart, you are pure joy. You are wickedly intelligent and you have the best, most dry, most brilliant sense of humor. I have the best time being your mom.
Paltrow also recognized that due to current stay-at-home orders in Los Angeles, Apple's birthday celebrations didn't happen as planned. She writes, I'm sorry you were having this particular birthday during these circumstances, but as always with you, you find the best in everything.
Apple was rocking a turquoise cast on her thumb in the pictures. While Paltrow didn't explain the injury, Apple was all smiles as she gave a very enthusiastic thumbs up to the camera. Happy birthday to these celeb kids.
In today's story to make you smile, 2 stars are taken to their cars for an epic song swap. Turns out Snoop Dogg and Idina Menzel are a fan of each other's work.
Yes, this week Snoop posted a video of himself listening to Frozen's epic anthem, Let It Go, while sitting in his car. Take a look. Let it go, can't hold it back.
Yeah, in times like these, sometimes you just have to let it go. Looks like Snoop's trying to do just that. He explains in the video that he just had to come down to his car and listen to that song all alone.
That's really cute. And it looks like Idina saw Snoop's video because she responded with a video of her own on Thursday. She's also sitting in her car, but listening to Snoop's classic, Drop It Like It's Hot. Take a look.
Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, love the support there. In the caption, she tags Snoop and reveals that she could have sworn the lyrics were Drop It Like It's Hard, and adds, you learn something new every day. I guess so.
How did she think it was Drop It Like It's Hard?
Drop it like it's hard. Drop it, I mean, whatever.
It's really cute, though. I love that these two are supporting each other, and maybe they'll collab in the future. We'll see.
All right, stay with us. We're talking with Bachelorette alum Tyler Cameron about his new series, Barkitecture. These dogs are definitely not living rough. It's a pun. Plus, actor Alex Wolff stars in Castle in the Ground, and we're going to chat with him about that and so much more. Stick around. Jesse Palmer hosts Food Network's newest competition show, Bakeaway Camp, alongside Martha Stewart. On the show, 6 campers must brave the elements to perfect their baking skills. You need to be pretty competitive to come out on top. And as a former NFL player, we wanted to know Jesse's take on what these campers have to do to succeed. Here's what he said.
I think the biggest thing is you have to have a plan. And
Right.
I think you have to stay married to that plan and really try to see it through. So many times on shows like this, I've seen bakers find out the challenge, they find out they have a time restriction, and in their mind, they try to kind of orchestrate what's going to happen. They set off, they get their ingredients, they start, and then literally halfway through or more than halfway through, they decide to tweak it somehow. Not out of necessity, but just because they think they have a better idea. They add an ingredient, they replace an ingredient, they change the presentation, they do something, and it sort of takes them off course. They end up getting in trouble with the clock, and ultimately they don't execute the way they'd like, and it ends up costing them in the end. I think it's the bakers that ultimately have conviction, whether it's like hell or high water, no matter what's gonna happen. They're going to sell out and try and do it their way. And I think more often than not, those are the bakers that end up having, I think, the most success.
Yeah. So it's like stick with the plan.
Yeah. You're either going to succeed or you're going to completely embarrass yourself on television. But you just got to have conviction that you're going to do it one way or the other.
Yeah, like many of us, Jesse has been learning new hobbies amid isolation. There are even some first-time experiences. Watch.
During quarantine now, I think one of the benefits, if there are any, is that it's allowed some of us to experiment, try new things. Baking has been something that I've never done previously, and that, I've hosted baking shows, never done a lot of baking. So actually last night, my fiance and I baked, I officially baked my first thing ever last night.
Last night?
It was an apple, it was this apple cake, Oh, wow. And there was a bunch of brandy, and there was apples, and and I'm mixing. And Emily, my fiance, she's kind of like kind of walking me through it, and just
Here's
kind
how
of
it goes.
really,
Here's how you
really
do it, right?
hands-on. Yeah, I gotta say the end result, it definitely was not Martha Stewart-esque. She would not have approved. I am nowhere near qualifying to be a contestant on any of these reality baking shows.
Okay.
But I feel like it does give me a tiny bit more credibility, at least. So now that I have a little bit of a better understanding of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, that's good. I am shocked to learn that the first time ever just happened last night. So the quarantine, it's brought, the self-isolation is bringing out all this new stuff.
It's true. Yeah, baking, meditating. I'm going to start gardening. This is all real. This is really happening.
You know what? We're doing that. We got a little herb garden going.
Do you?
Yeah, we just we just planted it. Who knows if it's going to happen, but we did plant the seeds. The first step, we've got bags of dirt in our apartment, and now out on the rooftop there, we got a little action.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
See what happens.
Well done.
Yeah, that's right. Tracy Morgan stars as Captain Caveman in the new animated film Scoob. And in this week's issue of People, Morgan gets candid about how he and his family are spending their time at home. He's hunkered down with his wife Megan and their 6-year-old daughter Maven in his sprawling mansion in New Jersey. It has a bowling alley, indoor basketball court, arcade, movie theater, and a 20,000-gallon aquarium stocked with 11 sharks and 2 eels. I don't think I'd ever leave that house.
11 sharks, a little extra, but despite the extravagance of his home, Morgan says it's the simpler things that have brought him the most joy lately. And that includes giggling with his daughter and helping her navigate kindergarten online. He even says he has a deeper appreciation for what teachers do now and says that God has blessed them with patience to deal with the young people.
Morgan is also taking this time to let the people closest to him know that he cares. He tells us, quote, "We're taking this time to get closer, loving more, and being patient with each other." He adds, "One day I went through my whole phone list and called everybody and told them I love them."
And speaking of love, Morgan has been focusing on giving back to the world after he received so much of it following his 2014 accident. Next month will be the 6-year anniversary of when a truck ran into his limousine bus, leaving him in critical condition and killing one of his friends. Tracy explains that the trauma never goes away, but that it has helped him to grow. He says, "The beautiful thing that came out of it was so much goodwill for me. I didn't know that many people loved me." And now Morgan is spreading that love through his comedy.
And as far as what he's looking forward to after isolation, he can't wait to give out some hugs. Morgan tells us, quote, "I just want to hug my mother. I want to hug everybody. I want to hug the world." All right, now we move on to this. Watch.
Who is it?
I'm Julia Kensett.
I'm Tyler Cameron.
Together, we make some bomb customized dog houses.
You love it, buddy?
Oh my God. That's unbelievable.
Incredible. Look at him, look at him.
Who wants some rosé?
We all remember Tyler Cameron as a fan favorite on Hannah Brown's season of The Bachelorette. But now he's winning the hearts of dogs everywhere in his new Quibi show called Barkitecture. I caught up with him to talk about the new show and also got an update on where his relationship with Hannah stands today. Watch.
These houses are extreme, they're extravagant, they're over the top, and it's so cool.
That's really cool. I mean, a dog, obviously, they can't communicate what they want. Maybe an owner that knows their dog really well might have a hunch, but you tell me what it is that you know, when you're dealing with a dog, how do you know what's best?
You know, we kind of like to take the perspective from the owner, and a lot of them like to have the house that kind of matches their house. So, for instance, Kyle Richards has a colonial style house, very beautiful house. Her house was built in 1882. So we wanted to match that with the dog house. And what we did, we just took that and that architecture and that style, we, transformed it into a little mini dog house. And, but the insides were really decked it out and made it special and different. We had these portraits of the dogs and these beautiful, nice little couches for the dogs to lay on, and these, what was it, Chanel, like,
nice
toys, all
like branded and like decked out.
Exactly.
I love it because I have several friends in LA that pamper their dogs in that exact kind of way. Like, I mean, it's just, there's nothing they wouldn't do. What's the most extravagant thing that you put in a doghouse thus far?
So what you'll see in Kyle Richards' house is they went to a glass blower and had dog bones made out of a glass blower, made a beautiful chandelier for the centerpiece of the house. And it's just so over the top, but it's what the dogs needed,
Yeah, of course. That dog would not have been happy without that.
Exactly. It wouldn't have been to the dog's, specifications if we didn't have the chandelier.
We've been watching the quarantine vids, Hannah B, everybody going crazy at people. We, of course, as you know, obsess over it. What's the deal? What's the latest with Hannah?
We're just good friends. I'm grateful that we were able to put our behind us and just work on our friendship, and that's kind of where we're at right now. We're just, trying to be there for each other and support each other. She was, we were both there for each other through tough times, and very grateful to have something like that in my life.
And she seemed like truly a beast. Like she was giving you a run for your money in those workouts.
She does not, like, she is a strong, badass girl. I mean, she gets after it. So she was a lot to keep up with. On
Sunday, you honored your late mother on Mother's Day. What does that day mean to you now on this side of things?
That day means, another day that we get to celebrate my mother. I was fortunate enough to have her for 27 years, impact my life. And so now that day I will not only celebrate my mothers, but I plan to use that day to celebrate other mothers that are, doing amazing things for their kids. So very grateful for my mom and all she's been able to do for us. And that day is important to us and special to us.
For many of us staying at home, social distancing comes with a few benefits, like more family time and lack of long commutes. But it's also not all about cooking, learning new dances, and family dinners. There may be a lot of added stress, such as handling kids' homeschooling, dealing with distractions while working from home, and an increase in bickering with family members. So Real Simple editor-in-chief Liz Vaccarello has gathered a few tips to help you keep your cool during this time. Watch.
Strategy number 1 is to find your release valve. We all had methods in place pre-quarantine that let us blow off some steam in that transition from work to family. Now that we're all isolated and home together, sometimes we can blow off that steam right at our families, and we don't want to do that. So whether it was time to meditate, or maybe you took a yoga class, some of us went out for drinks after work. The key now is to find a way to approximate those strategies so that you're releasing your stress and can meet with your family as your best self. Sometimes that means putting on a pair of noise-canceling headphones, heading into the bedroom, and having a few moments to yourself. Other times, maybe you take a walk around the block or have a video chat with a glass of wine with one of your friends. Make time for self-care. Even if that means you have to carve out a few minutes before the rest of the family wakes up, give yourself a moment to do a daily meditation. There's some easy apps you can download like Stop, Breathe, and Think. You can come up with your own walking meditations where you're breathing through one nostril and then the other as you take several steps. But the key is to find 1 or 2 moments for yourself. Make sure that you're keeping up with your workout routine, modifying moves that you did at the gym in your home, and we're all trying to have dance parties and get that cardio in for the day. But I'd also recommend that you surprise yourself. Neighborhoods are doing many interesting things. We have what we call a teddy bear walk in our neighborhood, and all of the homes have put teddy bears in the windows so that when you're walking with your little kids, they can sort of do a treasure hunt of teddy bears. I don't have little kids anymore, but I just sort of post it on my social media. It's a fun way to make exercise and getting outside and time for yourself fun and interesting. Now let's talk about practicing compassion. Let some things go. For example, in my house, we make fun of my husband because he loves to have clutter around, and I make him confine his clutter in the kitchen to one single tray. But during home quarantining, we've kind of let that rule slide, and I said, look, do what you want with what you want on the kitchen counters. On the other hand, other things need to be put in perspective. So if you have a death of a loved one, or there's a coronavirus diagnosis in your community or in your family, that's a big deal. But your kids fighting over the Play-Doh or the PlayStation is probably not a big deal. Take a deep breath and let it slide. Also, have big conversations during little moments. So it used to be that parents knew to have conversations with kids in the car, that driving felt like a safe space. And now we're not spending as much time in the car, but you can find ways around the house, maybe while you're doing dishes or while you're setting the table, or if you're having a quiet breakfast on a weekend, and take those times to casually bring up big issues that you might want to talk about. On the other hand, be silly. It can also be a time of fun. I always recommend that you do something tactile with your kids. Play-Doh and silly putties and slimes are great ways to let our anxiety out, but also have fun on the kids' level.
At the end of the day, we have to remember that everyone you're staying at home with is going through similar stresses. And although everyone deals with stress differently, we can't forget that we are all in this together.
You want to go have some fun, man?
How do you know these people?
I don't.
She would sell your soul for something this big. It's probably gonna kill her.
We're being followed. Speed up.
Those pills we stole from your friend Polo Boy, they were fake.
I told you not to snoop.
Castle in the Ground is about a boy who becomes embroiled in a world of addiction and violence while mourning the death of his mother. It's a very intense film. Alex Wolff plays the lead character, Henry, joins us now to talk all about the film. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, you know. We were just talking a little bit about this crazy time that we're in right now of doing things from home, and you know, it's kind of a sad time generally. But I mean, the only nice thing is like the actual lifestyle is okay, like staying inside, watching movies all the time. I just feel like this is a good movie to watch while you're all quarantined.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So Castle in the Ground, how would you pitch the movie to viewers?
Well, I think it's really about a sweet boy's loneliness and how we'll kind of do anything, especially as young men, will do anything to escape the feeling of loneliness and the feeling of and grief. And I think it shows how easy it is to kind of self-medicate and try and snap your fingers and get rid of your pain. And I think it's kind of an amazing allegory for what's going on right now with everybody, where, you know, we'd kind of do anything to be out of this pain, out of this isolation, out of this, you know, some people are even breaking quarantine, even though it's extremely dangerous, just to see people because it's so, and I think this movie is really about loneliness and searching for something.
Yeah, and you told our producer that you took the project because you were intoxicated by your character. What do you love most about Henry?
I guess it's interesting that I used that word. It was totally an accident, but it is kind of a good way of putting it. I was intoxicated by the whole thing. I think what I love about Henry is that a lot of times you see characters who are drug addicts, who are manic and unforgiving and mean-spirited, and you kind of just watch them be awful. But I found this one really unique because it's really about a young boy's first couple days into his start into addiction.
Now, obviously, this movie is very heavy. It's very serious. I do know that you are a bit of a goofball sometimes. I'll never forget when you were on our set of People Now, and you and Asa Butterfield were playing with our plants, like during the interview, and I could not get you guys. I could not get you guys.
It was with you, right?
What? Yeah, it was with me.
That was. Asa and I talk about how that was the most fun interview we've ever done. I'm sure for you it was not, but we were eating the plants and I've never laughed so hard. And then you had us trying to say something to the camera and we could not stop laughing.
It was really fun, but I always will remember that interview because I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are hilarious, but I have to try to keep them in line. So this film's very serious, but did you at least have some time like in between takes or on set to lighten the mood, or was that not really the vibe of it?
I could not stop thinking about that interview that I had with you. That was so funny. I know we're pivoting, but oh my God, that was legendary. Funny. That was one of the most fun days I've ever had.
No, it was, I had fun too. It was just like ridiculous.
Did you? I don't know if you did.
I did, but I also knew I had to settle you guys down. I felt like your mom. I was like, okay, that's enough. You can put the plant down now.
You were like our mom in that particular scenario. Yeah, in doing this movie, I mean, Imogen is kind of she's kind of like a barrel of laughs. She's super funny. That's like one of my favorite things about Imogen, is she's just like such a funny, lively spirit. She brings all of it to Anna. Her character. So I just loved how we would make each other laugh really hard. We'd be stuck in the car together for, days, and it'd be 3 a.m. we'd be making each other laugh.
You're a really busy actor. I always admire how many projects you're involved in. You also worked with Hugh Jackman, Allison Janney, and HBO's Bad Education. Yeah. I mean, those two are just icons. I mean, what's something about each of them that maybe surprised you or would surprise fans?
Oh my God, you're the first person I'm going to tell this to. I realize you're the first person ever. This is crazy. Allison Janney, I don't know how I've never brought this up before. Allison Janney did a play with my mom at Yale Drama School that many years ago. So she knows my mom, and they were both in Midsummer Night's Dream. So when we went to Toronto Film Festival for Bad Education, my mom came, and Allison Janney she's so kind, and we had a great, dynamic on set, and we're friends. But she saw me, she goes, "Darling, oh, your mother!" And she came and gave her the biggest hug ever, and it was just so that's a crazy coincidence.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's really cool.
Insane.
And also, you're in the upcoming movie Pig. Nicolas Cage. I hear that you formed a strong bond with him. What was it about him that you guys bonded?
Well, it was super familial. It was actually we were both going through similar personal things right when the movie had started. And we're both in kind of vulnerable spots. And he just was someone who embraced me, and I think as an older actor like that, he could have easily brushed me off as a young actor or whatever. And instead he kind of just greeted me with open arms, like I was his family. He's just become one of my best friends.
That is so heartwarming that you guys are best friends. Did you hear about him playing Joe Exotic in this upcoming series?
Oh yeah, I heard about it. I messaged him 2 months ago and I said, you have to play Joe Exotic. I said that you have to be this guy. No one else can be this larger than life. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. And then I saw the article online. I was like, Nick, are you playing him? You're like, you bet your ass I am. So he texted me back. You bet your ass I am.
So perfect. I can't wait. Going along with all the things you're doing, you also made your directorial debut last year with Kathryn. So yeah, what makes you excited about this, and what was your favorite thing about this directorial debut?
It's the best. That's the thing I'm the most excited for. And one of the coolest things was Nick Cage has been such a champion of that movie, and he said it was like his favorite of the year.
There was also a Naked Brothers band reunion last month.
Yeah.
Fans absolutely loved it. I mean,
yeah,
it's the highlight. I mean, you guys haven't been reunited since what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, we all got wasted on it, and we're all drunk doing it, and it was so fun. It was just I mean, the whole thing was so fun. We were talking about certain episodes. We were talking about everybody's lives, and it was like one of my favorite things I've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone asks this because it's the age of the reboots, but ever any talk of a reboot of that?
I want to. I mean, I'm down. I'm down for whatever happens. I want to do.
Last thing, I saw you wish your mom. We love your whole family. We've had your mom on. We've had your brother on. Love seeing the picture you posted for your mom for Mother's Day.
Pretty cute,
what was
right?
her reaction to that?
She was very pissed off. Was very mad. Very mad. She doesn't like me posting pictures of her sleeping. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. There's all these great pictures of us, and I chose the one where she was asleep.
Alex, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything. And everyone, make sure you catch Castle on the Ground. It's available digitally and on demand.
Many high school seniors are missing out on all the fun that comes with closing out a school year, including prom and graduation. So as these graduates to be prepare to head out into the world, many celebrities are looking to inspire them. Graduate Together, America Honors the High School Class of 2020 was curated by basketball player LeBron James in collaboration with high school students and educators across the country. The special will include an appearance from LeBron, along with performances and appearances from stars like Zendaya, the Jonas Brothers, Maren Morris, and many more.
Yara Shahidi, who graduated in 2017 and will also appear in the special, tells us in this week's issue of People that she remembers her high school experience fondly. She says, quote, "I've always been a nerd who loves school," adding that being part of Graduate Together is her way of helping honor the class of 2020. She says this year's graduates have done great work in extremely difficult circumstances and deserve a celebration.
The special will include a commencement speech from former President Barack Obama, no big deal. As a little throwback, here's a picture of Obama as a high school graduate alongside his mother, Stanley Ann Dunham. Since this picture, he has given a number of commencement speeches and once told the Booker T. Washington High School in Memphis, Tennessee, quote, "There's a common lesson shared by every graduate. It's not where you are or what you are, it's who you are."
And there'll be even more words of wisdom from inspirational figures like Megan Rapinoe, Lena Waithe, and Malala Yousafzai. Graduate Together, America Honors the High School Class of 2020 airs on all major networks on Saturday, May 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check that out. All right, coming up next week, we're joined by Luke Wilson and Amy Smart. They're both starring in the upcoming CW series Stargirl.
Plus, we are talking Real Housewives of New York City Season 12 drama with Ramona Singer. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.